BTech Traders post-market analysis. Today we will take a look at how the Nifty and Bank Nifty performed during the market hours. We can see that in the morning itself, like 9:20 itself, the market was highly bullish. Okay, it had a good bullish trend, and this continued till 10:35. Okay, so after 10:35, what happened? The market fell. Okay, that was a huge fall. So that was a bearish move. Then this bearish move happened till 11:40. And what happened after the 11:40 till 2:35? The market consolidated. Here it also formed a what is called as rising wedge. Okay, these patterns will be later on discussed. Okay, and after 2:35 the market again fell. Okay, so there was like 1, 2 and 3 good movements. Okay, this was a bullish movement in the morning session, and later on it turned into a bearish movement, and after 2:35 again a bearish movement. So the question is, how can we actually predict these movements in advance so that you can actually get into a position and make a good return out of it? In order to do that, what we basically use is a tool. This tool is Chartink ATLAS. Okay, how can we get into the tool? So what you need to do is go to Google and search for Chartink ATLAS. You can see here, and click on the first link. That will redirect you to this page. It shows a top dashboards. Here you can see a dashboard named BTech Traders. This is one of our publicly available dashboards that anybody can use and also predict these movements very easily. Okay, here you can see that this contains a lot of lines and graphs. Okay, so don't get confused. We actually don't use all of these indicators. We actually use about like 12 of these indicators to predict the market movement. Here you can see that these indicators are marked as 20 SMA, then 50 SMA, then Bollinger Band breakouts, then pivot points, and so much more. So each indicators represent a small portion of the market. Okay, so it may be a long-term trend, some may be a short-term trend, and some represent the actual strength of this movement. Okay, so using the combination of these things, we can actually predict these movements in advance. So how can we actually interpret these lines? That is the first question. So for easy understanding, we have made this graph in such a way that whenever there is a red line, so if it is showing red on top, that means the market is actually bearish. Okay, from here you can see that in 11:05 AM the market is currently negative. Sorry, this indicator, this 20 SMA indicator is showing that the market is currently negative. And after some time during 12:35, it is showing as blue line is on top. That means it is having a bullish signal. So this is how we interpret these lines. So whenever there is a red line on top, that means it is a bearish indicator, and whenever there is a blue line on top, that means during that time the market is this market is currently bullish. Okay, so here we can see that there are so much lines. So for better understanding, we have made a separate sheet to explain this or top. Here you can see that the sheet contains a table. Okay, and here on the right side you can see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main indicators. Okay, so what does these indicators represent? Okay, so first of all, these two, upper Bollinger and lower Bollinger, these are called breakout indicators. So whenever there is a breakout, these indicators will show. And how does it represent? If the upper Bollinger is having a value greater than 15, that means that indicator is showing that the market is currently bullish. And whenever there is a value greater than 15 in lower Bollinger Band, that means the market is negative. Okay, so these are the breakout indicators, and rest of the three are called short-term and long-term indicators. Here 20 SMA will have a short-term indicator, and the 50 SMA that will have a long-term indicator, and the middle thing, that is 20 MA, this actually represent the strength, how much strength or momentum this trend have. So let's check out charting. Here you can see that 20 SMA had a bullish trend in 930, then during 1055 it showed a bearish trend. Likewise in 50 SMA you can see that during most of the time in the morning session it had a bullish trend, and later on in 11:10 the indicator turned to bearish. Okay, that is the overall idea. So let's get back to the table. So these are the bullish and bearish indicators. Okay, here it is given that during 9:30 there was an entry, and during 10:55 another. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 indicators or entries were actually predicted by the Chartink ATLAS. Actually, when you purchase the premium subscription in Chartink, you can actually get this information in real time, which this won't be a post-market analysis. You can actually analyze these things in the real time and actually trade based on these indicators. So let's check how we got these 9 entries. Okay, so let's go to Chartink. Here you can see that we use the futures breaking Bollinger Band as our indicator for entries. So this will be our entry. So for entry points we actually utilize this chart. So what is the condition for entry? It is very simple. The previous candle, this previous candle should have a value less than 15, and the current value should have greater than 15. So whenever this condition is satisfied, that means there is an entry. And how will you choose whether the entry is bullish or bearish? It is very simple. When it is showing a red line, that means whenever it is showing a red line, that means it's a down entry or called lower Bollinger breakout. Whenever it is showing a blue line, okay, so whenever there is a blue line, that means it is an upper Bollinger or uptrend as an entry. So what are the entries that we get from Chartink? Okay, and one more thing is there. There are some time frames that you shouldn't use these indicators for entries. That is during 9:15 to till 9:30 or 9:45, and after 3, it is 3 to 3:30, because during this time the market will be highly fluctuating and these values will have crazy numbers. So don't expect to predict this. Don't expect to predict this as a good entry or bad entry or something like that. So always omit these entry points in this time frame, 9:15 to 9:30 and also 3:30 to 3:30. 3 to 3:30. So let's check in which all places we got actually our entry condition. Our entry condition is this. So let's check. Here we can see the first entry condition. Here the market settles during 9:45. So in this period of time you cannot trade because the values are 80, 85, 60. So This is crazy high, so don't take an entry position here. So after that it settles around 945, the value is around 16, and in 950 the value is 18. So here we can take an entry. So 950 we can take a bullish entry, and later on you can see in 1050 the value is, lower Bollinger value is 8, and in the next 5 minutes you can see that in 1055 the lower Bollinger band is greater than 15 or 23. So this satisfies our condition. So here is our entry. So in 1055 this will be the current value. In 1055 we get a down entry or lower Bollinger band breakout. Okay, so 1055 is our first entry. Actually we can get into an entry here because the values are so close to 15, so we can also get a bullish entry in 950. Okay, so that's our first entry. Then second entry is here. Then our third entry will be around here, 1250, because the current value is 24 and the previous candle value or previous value is 6. So this satisfies our entry condition. Then later the another entry we get is from 130, as upper Bollinger band is around 21, which is also better than 15, and the previous candle is below 15. So we got our entry points. Okay, so the first entry points was around 950, then the second is around 1055, and later on. So for better understanding we have all made this chart into a table. Okay, so let's get to the table and analysis how we filtered out rest of the entries. So here we can see that there are so much entries here and there. So what we want to do is we want to filter out most of the fake entries. So in order to do that we actually use some other indicators. In our case we use our short-term indicators as 20 SMA, then long-term indicators 50 SMA to actually filter out. So let's check how the filtering works. Our table. So here we marked the entry points, and we also marked upper Bollinger and lower Bollinger. So when the line is blue we marked it as upper Bollinger, when the line is red we marked it as a lower Bollinger. See from here, when the line is red on top that means lower Bollinger, when the line is blue it means upper Bollinger. Okay, it's very simple. Now we have to filter out these 9 entries in order to get the best possible outcome. Okay, so what we do is we take these indicators into consideration. So what these indicators does, the 50 SMA it is our long term trend, the 20 SMA is our short term trend, and 20 EMA is our momentum. Okay, here you can see that in 950 AM the upper Bollinger is showing a value of 18, and also these three indicators is also pointing towards bullish. So there is a high chance of probability that this will be a bullish condition during 950. Okay, similarly in 250 you can see that the lower Bollinger having a value 40 indicates a bearish entry, and these three indicators short term, long term, momentum all indicates downtrend. So high chance of probability also in during 250 PM. Okay, we can also see that rest of the period there are some positive indicators. Okay, here you can see that. Okay, here you can see that some are bearish. Even though the upper Bollinger is giving a signal of bullish condition, the long term SMA is showing a downtrend, so this have a low probability. Likewise we can cancel out most of these entries here. So we can conclude that in 950 AM we have a uptrend or bullish trend. In 10 to 50 p.m. we have a downtrend. Yes, in 2:50 p.m. we have a downtrend. So let's check how these entries actually played out in real time or in the actual scenario. So the position is 950 as bullish entry and 250 as bearish entry. These have the highest probability. So let's check our upstocks and see if these entries actually worked. From here we can see that here, okay, here in 950 we can see a flag formation and also a breakout. So this entry was pretty good. Then in 250, so let's point to 250. So here, yes, here in 250, this will be our bearish entry. So it was also a pretty good entry. So even before the main trend began, we actually predicted the market movement in advance. So in this position in 950 we could have gone for call option, and during the 2:50 p.m. you could go for put option, but I actually don't prefer doing trades on 2:45 after, so get into this position only. Okay, named STOCKEX trading, and it had about 335 members. This is the channel link. We will provide the link in the description below. So in this we have given a recommendation. So this is all free. Okay, so in this we have given an entry recommendation, call option in 959. That means we have predicted that market may go up or not. So this is our predictions. We actually calculated this using the indicators, and we actually get a high probability chance that during this time the market may go up. This won't be 100% accurate, so make a stop loss. So in our recommendation also we have given the stop loss. So here what we did is during 9:59 we have actually gone for long here. So this was our entry. This was our entry, and it was a very good entry because we happened to have a 10% return. Okay, so when you get the indicators and also some patterns, here we can see that it formed a flag pattern, and in 10 a.m. it was a breakout, and it was a good breakout. Actually we holded a position in Bank Nifty, not in Nifty. So our position was here. It was also similar, but the bank was breaking higher highs much faster than Nifty. So we have opted to go for Nifty, Bank, and also a call option. So using the indicators that we get from Atlas, we got a good entry at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. we got a good entry for bullish, and we got into position and we exited with a 10% profit. So here you can see the actual trade. Here when we given the recommendation, like in 9:59, they actually took a trade, personal trade. So here you can see that we bought the entry at 203, and in the next minute we sold it at 222. So we took a profit of like 472. This is actually 10%. We have only invested 4,700 something to purchase the position, and we exited with a good amount, that is 10% return. So our return of investment is 10%. And in all entries you should always put a stop loss. That should also be 10% loss. So if you predict the market will go up and the market reverses from here, you should always exit with a 10% loss. Okay, so these are the rules to follow, and these are the steps to follow to predict the market movements. So, and hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any queries or something, you can check out our Telegram group. We will provide the links in the description. And also check out our app, that is STOCKEX. You can download it from Play Store. And as always, happy trading. Thank you.